the invisible issue here in New York City, which is a rising homeless population, which is at an all-time high statistically.
It's sad to say that, 90% of us out here are because of drugs and alcohol. I'm white, and 90% of the people that hand out money and food are black, Puerto Rican, Asian, Indian, you know what I mean? These rich white people, they don't care. They're just worried about the $100,000 that they're making that year, you know what I mean?
They're inhumane in a lot of cases.
Welcome to Homeless U.S. News.
On Homeless U.S. News, today's story begins in Manhattan, the financial heart of America, where every square foot carries a price few can imagine. Yet within this landscape of skyscrapers and luxury, thousands of people are living without stable housing. New York City reports over 100,000 people in its homeless system, and Manhattan reveals the sharpest contrast: extreme wealth existing alongside life on sidewalks and subway stations. By day, Manhattan represents power, money, and constant motion. Look closer, and another reality appears. People sleeping near subway entrances, in parks, and along busy streets, quietly existing as crowds rush past. In a place where everything moves fast, and those left behind are forced to stand still. It is a call to conscience, asking what progress means when visibility depends on wealth. The homelessness crisis on the streets. In the heart of Manhattan's bustling avenues, the streets whisper tales of quiet endurance, where the simple act of waking up each day feels like a profound act of will for those without a place to call home. As we explore in Homeless U.S. News, this crisis unfolds on sidewalks and in parks, where the chill of the pavement seeps into bones, turning every moment into a reminder of vulnerability and the fragile line between security and struggle. Consider the staggering reality. According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's 2024 Annual Homelessness Assessment Report, released in early 2025, over 771,480 people across the nation experienced homelessness on a single night, while marking an 18% surge from the previous year, a number so vast it eclipses the population of many mid-sized cities and tugs at the heart, showing how swiftly life's uncertainties can sweep anyone into isolation. In New York City alone, unsheltered street homelessness climbed by 12% in 2024, excluding new arrivals, with first-time cases rising 23% since 2019, transforming vibrant boulevards into spaces of quiet despair for thousands who once felt the city's pulse as their own. Manhattan's streets bear a heavy burden, with over 4,500 unsheltered individuals estimated in early 2025, accounting for a significant share of the city's total and underscoring a vulnerability that echoes through the borough's crowded walkways, so where the weight of invisibility presses down. These figures aren't abstract. They evoke the heartache of families huddling against biting winds, elders feeling the ache of loneliness in crowded anonymity, and young souls carrying the burden of lost dreams amid the rush. Daily realities stir deep empathy, gathering meager warmth from worn layers, seeking fleeting solace in shared glances, and enduring the emotional toll of exposure, all while the world hurries by, leaving a sense of forgotten humanity. Amid this, glimmers of change appear, like Manhattan's targeted outreach programs that have reduced unsheltered counts in specific districts by focused efforts that remind us progress is possible when compassion aligns with action. Yet, the crisis persists because it touches on deeper societal threads: affordability, mental health support, and job security that stir a shared ache in us all, reminding us of our common fragility. Have you ever reflected on how a sudden life change might alter your own path, making the streets a reluctant companion? In sharing these truths through Homeless Us News, we recognize that this crisis calls on all of us to feel the humanity in those we pass by. fostering a shared sense of responsibility to extend support where it's needed most. As we delve deeper, keep in mind that the roots of this struggle hold keys to understanding, and the stories ahead reveal unexpected layers that could shift our perspective entirely. If these initial glimpses into the crisis resonate with you, consider liking this video. It's a way to signal that these human experiences matter, and subscribe to stay connected as we uncover more. From my perspective in sharing homeless US news, this crisis teaches us that streets should be pathways to opportunity, not endless loops of hardship. Let's hold space for these experiences, knowing that small acts of awareness can weave a stronger social net for everyone. Unraveling the roots of instability. Beneath the surface of daily survival lies a web of interconnected factors that quietly erode stability, turning temporary setbacks into long-term realities for many on Manhattan's streets. Evoking a deep sense of empathy for the unseen battles fought every day. In Homeless US News, we peel back these layers to reveal how everyday economic pressures compound into profound challenges that touch the soul. Imagine the shock of discovering that in Manhattan, one-bedroom apartment rents averaged over $4,000 monthly in 2025, a figure from the National Low-Income Housing Coalition's report that places decent housing out of reach for even full-time workers earning New York's $15 hourly minimum wage, now forcing tough choices between shelter and sustenance that weigh heavily on the heart. This borough's median household income hovers around $130,000 annually, yet evictions in neighboring areas like the Bronx and Brooklyn spiked by 15% in 2024, displacing families who then seek refuge in Manhattan's shadows, only to find job opportunities vanishing amid post-pandemic economic ripples that left over 8 million New Yorkers grappling with unemployment echoes, as per state labor statistics, stirring a poignant reminder of how fragile livelihoods can be. Mental health adds another invisible thread, with therapy sessions costing an average of $200 without insurance in a city where over 40% of those experiencing homelessness report related struggles. Per 2025 surveys from the Coalition for the Homeless, numbers that humanize the cycle of instability, where one lost job can unravel years of effort, compounded by the lack of savings buffers for nearly 60% of low-income households nationwide, leaving an emotional void that resonates with anyone's fear of falling. These roots aren't isolated. They intertwine with issues like healthcare access and family support systems, creating barriers that feel insurmountable but stem from systemic gaps we all share in addressing, pulling at our collective conscience. The quiet unraveling from secure days to uncertain nights illustrates how these factors play out in real time, often starting with a single unforeseen event like illness or layoff, leading to a cascade where small debts grow into evictions and lost connections, evoking a profound sadness for the human cost. What part do you think community resources could play in breaking such cycles before they deepen? As we continue this journey in Homeless US News, remember that understanding these origins opens doors to empathy, urging us as a society to nurture supports that prevent falls rather than merely cushion them. Stay with us as the divides ahead illuminate how close we all are to these edges, with revelations that might surprise you in the segments to come. If unraveling these roots has given you new insights, hit that like button and subscribe. Your engagement helps us bring more depth to these vital discussions. From my viewpoint, unraveling these roots in Homeless US News reminds us that instability often starts with overlooked pressures. Let's embrace our collective role in creating buffers, ensuring no one's foundation crumbles without a hand to steady it. Life in the Manhattan subway. When daylight fades, Manhattan's vast subway system shifts from a transit hub to an unlikely refuge, offering a glimpse into the adaptive ingenuity of those seeking warmth and safety underground, evoking a deep empathy for the quiet search for solace in the city's underbelly. In Homeless US News, we descend into this world to understand how public spaces become personal havens, stirring feelings of the human need for connection amid isolation. With 472 stations spanning over 665 miles of track and serving 3.6 million riders daily in 2025, per MTA reports, the subway's constant hum provides a backdrop for lives in transition. Yet the 2025 Homeless Outreach Population Estimate, HOPE, shocks with a nearly 300% increase in unsheltered subway homelessness since prior years, now over half of NYC's total unsheltered count, transforming platforms into overnight sanctuaries for an estimated 4,500 individuals nightly, highlighting the heartache of finding rest in motion. The uncertainty of every arriving car blends the metallic scent of rails with the dust of endless motion, creating moments of vigilance that tug at the soul as fleeting alliances form in the quest for peace. Groups huddle in corners, rotating watches over belongings and sharing whispered conversations over donated snacks, building bonds that offer emotional solace in an environment far from ideal, where the roar of trains every few minutes serves as both comfort and disruption, and the dim lighting casts long shadows on weary faces. Initiatives like the PATH teams, engaging over 20,100 unhoused New Yorkers by October 2025, introduce support without intrusion, connecting people to services that could lead upward, such as job training or health check-ins, showing how outreach can penetrate even these hidden layers, often starting with a simple conversation that builds trust over time. This subterranean life speaks to the human quest for security, even in imperfect forms, illustrating how creativity and survival emerges from necessity, like using newspapers as insulation or timing rests between peak hours. The quiet routines, curling up in alcoves or exchanging tips on safer lines, reveal a subculture of adaptation that thrives despite the odds, reminding us of the resourcefulness inherent in us all and the emotional toll it takes. Have you pondered what simple comforts, like a quiet corner, mean to someone without options? As we share these scenes in Homeless Us News, it evokes a collective call to ensure public spaces serve all with dignity, reminding us of our role in making them safer for everyone. And if this underground perspective moves you, subscribe to join us for more. Your engagement helps illuminate these hidden worlds. Looking ahead, the dreams that draw people here contrast sharply with the realities they face, leading to moments of quiet determination that deepen the narrative. From my perspective, exploring subway life in Homeless US News teaches a vital lesson. Even in hidden depths, resilience shines. Let's honor it by advocating for inclusive spaces that uplift rather than merely accommodate. The stark divide in society. In the shadow of Manhattan's gleaming facades, a profound divide emerges, where abundance and scarcity coexist in plain sight, shaping lives in ways that challenge our notions of fairness and stir a deep emotional response to the human contrasts all around. Through the lens of Homeless Us News, this contrast becomes a mirror, reflecting how economic gaps affect real people navigating the same streets, pulling at the heartstrings with its raw inequality. Picture Lower Manhattan's financial district, where penthouses fetch an average of $20 million. According to 2025 real estate data from Zillow, and towering over makeshift cardboard shelters below, a disparity so sharp it leaves one wondering how such extremes persist in a city with a 17% poverty rate, as reported by the Robin Hood Foundation's latest analysis, affecting over 1.4 million residents who live on the edge while others thrive, evoking a sense of shared sorrow for the unseen divides. New York City's overall wealth generates trillions, yet this inequality means that while some enjoy panoramic views, others endure the elements on ground level, with over 146,000 public school students identified as homeless in the 2023 to 2024 school year, a record high from the city's education department that underscores how families are caught in the chasm, impacting education and future prospects for generations. Yes, touching on the heartache of lost potential. Bureaucratic delays in aid further widen this rift, turning brief hardships into entrenched ones as individuals wait months for support that could restore balance, with processing times for housing vouchers averaging 6 to 9 months in 2025, leaving many in limbo that feels endlessly lonely. Amid these divides, the quiet persistence of those affected highlights a shared human resilience, reminding us that societal structures influence us all, from the high-rises to the sidewalks, fostering a poignant call for unity. The emotional weight of these contrasts, wealth's glow against hardship's shadow, shows how interconnected our lives truly are, where empathy can bridge the gap. How might recognizing these contrasts in your daily life inspire small steps toward bridging them? In exploring this through Homeless US News, we see that addressing the divide requires us to view everyone as part of the same community, fostering connections that heal rather than highlight separations. If these reflections resonate, consider liking this video to show your support. It's a simple way to amplify these voices, and subscribe to join the conversation. As we move forward, the nighttime realities awaiting reveal even more about survival's hidden sides, with insights that build toward a turning point you won't want to miss. From my perspective, these stark divides in Homeless US News teach a profound lesson. True progress blooms when we extend compassion across lines, seeing our interconnected fates in every story shared. Beacons of support from the community. Amid the challenges, community-driven efforts light the way, offering practical and emotional anchors that remind us of the power in collective care, evoking a warm sense of hope in the midst of hardship. In Homeless US News, we highlight these grassroots beacons to show how local actions create ripples of change that touch the heart. The Coalition for the Homeless, active since 1981, traverses Manhattan's 59 community districts with nightly vans, distributing essentials like soup and soap, reaching thousands in 2025 alone, per their annual impact report, a number that astonishes in its scale and underscores the gap filled by volunteers who dedicate evenings to these routes, often forming bonds over repeated visits that foster a sense of belonging. Similarly, the Bowery Mission on the Lower East Side, rooted in the 19th century, provides meals without barriers, serving hundreds daily in a space that feels like a brief respite from the streets, where conversations over warm food build trust and offer a sense of normalcy often lost in instability, with staff sharing resources like hygiene kits or referral cards that carry a gentle promise of better days. Smaller groups and individuals organize clothing drives, add personal warmth, extending help to IDs and job links, efforts that, while modest, have supported over 10,000 transitions in recent years across similar initiatives as tracked by city nonprofit networks, but demonstrating the cumulative effect of consistent kindness that warms the soul. These acts aren't grand gestures, but everyday commitments that humanize the struggle, building trust where it's often scarce, and demonstrating how neighbors can step in when systems lag, like hosting gatherings for skill sharing or emotional check-ins that heal quietly. The renewed hope through these interactions illustrates the profound impact of human connection in healing divides, stirring a deep appreciation for shared kindness. Why do you think such personal touches resonate so deeply in times of need? As we portray these in Homeless US News, it stirs a sense of shared duty, and encouraging us to participate in ways that honor everyone's worth. If these stories of support touch you, like the video and comment to share your thoughts. It helps us continue uncovering these vital narratives. Moving onward, official measures build on this foundation, leading to insights that promise a hopeful turn in our exploration. From a personal standpoint, these stories in Homeless US News inspire me to believe that individual actions accumulate into waves of change, urging us all to contribute, knowing one kind gesture can reignite someone's belief in possibility. The New York Dream and Harsh Reality. The magnetic pull of New York's promise, endless opportunities amid towering achievements, often collides with unforgiving truths, where aspirations meet barriers that test the spirit's endurance, evoking a poignant sense of lost potential in the city's heartbeat. In Homeless US News, we examine this duality to see how the city's allure masks underlying struggles for many, stirring emotions of hope mingled with sorrow. Startlingly, Manhattan's median household income reached $130,000 annually in 2025. Yet the city's poverty rate lingers at 17%, with over 420,000 children. 26% of NYC's youth living below the poverty line, as detailed in recent Robin Hood Foundation reports, Painting a picture of dreams deferred for the vulnerable who arrive seeking better lives, tugging at the heart with the weight of unfulfilled promise. This economic powerhouse, generating $1.7 trillion in GDP, witnesses top earners gaining 8% wage growth in the first quarter alone, while lower-income groups face stagnant pay and rents climbing 5% to over $4,000 monthly for one-bedrooms, creating a chasm where the promise of upward mobility fades for those without networks or buffers, often leading to a downward spiral from hopeful arrival to street survival that feels deeply unjust. Individuals arrive full of hope only to encounter evictions spiking 15% in Brooklyn last year, pushing them onto streets where jobs dissolve in economic aftershocks, leaving them to navigate a system where mental health aid averages $200 per session without coverage for over 1 million uninsured residents, exacerbating isolation in a city of millions and evoking a profound empathy for the silent battles. The financial district's $20 million penthouses overlook these ground-level realities, amplifying feelings of disconnection, yet the quiet rebuilding, piecing together futures through odd jobs and community resources, reveals an unyielding determination that inspires amid the harshness, showing how grit can spark small victories in the face of adversity. This harsh interplay invites reflection on the city's true accessibility, showing how the dream, while vivid, requires structural support to become reality for all, yet stirring a collective longing for equity. What unexpected hurdles have you faced in pursuing your own goals, and how did they shape your view? Through Homeless U.S. News, we recognize that sustaining the dream requires us all to support equitable paths, weaving a fabric where opportunity isn't a luxury, but a shared foundation. As the tale progresses, beacons of community aid emerge, hinting at transformative shifts that await in the closing chapters. If these contrasts have sparked thoughts, like and subscribe. It's how we keep these conversations alive. From my viewpoint, these dream-reality clashes in Homeless U.S. News remind us that aspirations flourish in fair grounds. Let's nurture them collectively, ensuring the city's promise extends to every seeker. Official steps toward solutions. On the institutional front, government initiatives provide structured pathways, blending resources and strategy to address the complexities of homelessness with measured progress, evoking a sense of cautious optimism for the human spirit's recovery. In Homeless U.S. News, we trace these steps to appreciate how policy intersects with personal lives, stirring emotions of hope amid ongoing challenges. New York City's $125 million allocation for statewide homeless housing in 2025 fuels programs like Housing First, which prioritizes stable homes before other needs, securing rent vouchers in a market with just 1.4% vacancy, resulting in over 3,500 transitions from streets and subways to permanent housing by mid-year. A figure from City reports that surprises in its tangible impact amid ongoing demands for more units, often involving case managers who follow up for months to ensure success, touching on the dedication that restores faith. Winter emergency plans activate additional sites in city buildings, accommodating spikes in need during cold snaps where temperatures plummet below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, while social worker patrols offer transport to these spots, engaging thousands annually in non-judgmental conversations that lead to uptake, complete with follow-up calls to build trust that feels genuinely caring. Efforts also bolster mental health services via mobile clinics providing free checkups and basics, though in a metropolis of 8.8 million, supply strains against need, with wait times for specialized care averaging 4 to 6 weeks in 2025, prompting expansions like telehealth options for quicker access that offer a lifeline. These initiatives, complemented by partnerships with nonprofits, signal a commitment to long-term stability, even as challenges like funding constraints persist, showing how layered approaches can yield incremental wins, such as integrating job placement and housing programs that rebuild lives step by step. The gradual mending, finding steady ground after uncertainty, highlights the potential when resources align with human needs, evoking a heartfelt appreciation for systemic care. Have you noticed how such programs in your area foster gradual improvements? Through Homeless U.S. News, we see that these official strides invite us all to advocate for refinements, reinforcing our joint role in sustainable solutions. As we near the end, a call to action awaits, wrapping our journey with a pivotal reflection that ties it all together. From my heart, These official steps in Homeless U.S. News reinforce that structured support endures when paired with community will. Let's back them, ensuring pathways to recovery for those in need. Conclusion and call to action. Drawing our exploration to a close, the threads of Manhattan's homelessness narrative, from street crises to community lights and official frameworks, weave a tapestry of resilience that invites us to reflect and respond, stirring a deep emotional connection to the shared human experience. In Homeless U.S. News, we've seen how over 102,850 sheltered nightly in NYC, as of June 2025, per DHS data, pairs with surging unsheltered figures, touching families and individuals in profound ways, yet transitions like the 3,500 to permanent homes by mid-2025 prove that targeted paths yield results, offering a blueprint for other cities facing similar scales, where success evokes a warm sense of possibility amid hardship. These narratives aren't endpoints, but invitations to engage, reminding us that dignity is a shared pursuit, where each journey contributes to the larger picture of urban life, encouraging us to see beyond headlines to the human elements that pull at our hearts. Now consider volunteering with groups like the Coalition for the Homeless, where your time could directly impact outreach efforts, or backing affordable housing through local advocacy. Small steps that build compassion and create lasting change, such as joining a drive or signing petitions that influence policy, fostering a gentle wave of collective healing. The quiet determination witnessed from subway refugees to dream chasers. It shows that hope persists when we choose to see and act, illustrating how collective efforts can turn struggles into triumphs that inspire the soul. What gentle action might you take to contribute? Perhaps starting with a conversation in your own circle. If this journey stirred something in you, like the video and subscribe for more, your involvement keeps these voices alive and helps us explore further. In Homeless U.S. News, change begins with us. Let's carry this forward, knowing that empathy and action can transform shadows into shared light, fostering a city and a society where no one goes unheard and every effort counts toward a more inclusive tomorrow. From my heart, concluding in Homeless U.S. News affirms hope through unity. Let's foster inclusivity, honoring every story with actions that ensure brighter tomorrows for all.